Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live, YouTube? Are we live? I think we're live. I think we're finally live. Good Lord. What a confusing mess. Wonder how many times I have to be logged in here. Let's see what happens. Not looking good so far. Not looking good. Oh, it is live. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, YouTube. And now thank you for making me turn up the volume when I don't want to. Heck yes. Get down. All right, now I can read chat. We're good to go. All right, Brad, what's up, buddy? I might be eating dinner, but I'll be keeping this window open for when I get back. Cooking now. Awesome. Thanks, Patrick, for letting me know that I'm live. I really appreciate that. It's really, like, I don't understand YouTube software. Like, so it's scheduled, to go live, like, a couple days ago. And then in OBS, you just connect to your live stream. You say go live, but you're not live. Apparently, you have to log into YouTube and to the dashboard and then go live there. So it's like I have to hit go live twice. It's like just let me stream, man. Just let me stream. That would be great. Anyway, so welcome everyone. We've got some pretty exciting news today. I would imagine this is going to be a pretty short stream. I say this all the time, but then we usually go like an entire hour anyway. But I really just wanted to get through a ton of announcements. Well, maybe not a ton of announcements, but one major announcement. So we'll start with maybe not the smaller one, but a small one. And that is that we will be making, I think I said this actually our last live stream too. So, or what, I don't even remember. There's so many live streams now because I game all the time. I don't remember what I say. But we will be making a YouTube video where the entire lab is going to be converted over to TP-Link Omada hardware, and I guess software for that matter. And in order to get there, we need a bunch of TP-Link equipment. So I already have a bunch, obviously, because I've covered TP-Link in the past. But TP-Link, I reached out to them, was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this video. Would you guys want to get in on this or help out, whatever have you? And they said yes. And YouTube, yes, Patrick, YouTube is making everything complicated. It's pretty wild. I wish they would just like calm down a little bit. Like, have you seen? So okay, so I know I'm getting distracted, but like YouTube's go live together is insanely complicated if you want to do it on mobile, like, or not on mobile, on desktop. So like on desktop, you have to have someone go live on their phone, and then you like, I guess, invite somebody on the desktop, and I don't know, it's just like this crazy convoluted experience. It's pretty wild, like how you do it on desktop. On mobile, it's like you go live, you invite the other person, and then you're both live together. Boop boop boop, it just works. But on desktop, it's crazy. Can I do a giveaway? I could. I do. I typically do one giveaway a year, like around November for Black Friday. And that's usually restricted to the United States, mostly for ease, and then also because shipping anything outside the United States is insanely expensive. Just don't do any electrical work. Yeah, I probably will be getting into more of that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. With the Unify thing, I won't be giving away any of the Unify stuff. So what I will be doing is running the TP-Link network alongside my home, which will all be Unify. So the TP-Link network will be its own thing specifically for SPX Labs, so I can start answering people's questions about the hardware and the software. So I've been seeing a lot of that stuff, and it seems like there's a lot of interest for me to make TP-Link content. So I'll be focusing on that. But I will still be running the Unify stack completely as is. I'm not changing out anything. And so I don't want to reveal too much, but there's a lot of future content coming where we're going to be segregating the two, and like this stuff will be run on TP-Link equipment, and Unify will now be its own thing, and Omada will be its other thing. So like I was talking about earlier, TP-Link was willing to help out, so they actually sent me a bunch of stuff. So this is the ER8411 Omada VPN router. This thing is an absolute beast. It's a 10 gig router. So I'm able to get 5 gigabit per second internet here. And this is the only thing I own that will actually allow me to get those kinds of speeds. Actually, that's not true. My Unify router, the UDM Pro, will actually allow me to get there too. So I guess I'm kind of lying. But this thing will do it, and it's got a 10 gig SFP plus port. So if you are at home and you don't want to have like tons of equipment, like, you know, another 10 gig switch, which are expensive, you could just buy this one unit, get 10 gig to one specific device, and then it's got 8 other LAN ports that you could connect to the rest of your network, the rest of your home network. It doesn't do any PoE or anything like that, so you won't be able to have any cameras or anything fancy. And another cool thing about it is it's got 2 power supplies out the back. I'm making my camera do weird things, and I don't know what it's flashing at me. It's weird. Anyway, it's got 2 power supplies, so it makes it redundant right out of the box. No special hardware needed. It'll all just work. Austin says, I'm not familiar with Omada, but I like how it can be standalone or part of Omada. And that's actually what makes Omada great. So I've been playing around with this already in standalone mode, and it's been pretty cool. I've had some difficulty with it. Do I have the modules with me? I don't have them. So for some reason, my FS modules don't work with this. This probably requires a firmware update, but I'm not sure what's going on. My WeTech modules work perfectly fine with this, and I'm not experiencing any issues. I know that has nothing to do with standalone mode. But yeah, that is like one great thing. So like you could pretty much dive into Omada and just piecemeal it together, at least currently anyway. You don't have to go all in. And if you want the Omada software controller, well, you can host that as a container. You can host that, you know, in a virtual machine. You can host it on a Raspberry Pi or on your desktop, whether that be Windows, Mac, or Linux. You have tons of options. And currently, they have no intention of removing those options because they want to allow businesses to have that flexibility to run their containers and have like redundancy and failover instead of just relying on the cloud service. And that's really cool. That benefits, you know, us home labbers because we can buy one badass thing and then boom, suddenly we, you know, that's all we need, right? We don't need to go have an entire network stack. So it's just kind of like an enabler. But if you want to get more into it, you can, of course, you know, keep adding on components. Patrick says, it's really nice that you're doing reviews of TP-Link stuff, especially that I now own a few of their things for the home network. Really reliable. Yeah, so far it's been really reliable. I think it kind of makes sense for me to do TP-Link. I'm skeptical saying reviews. Now I know that there's like a gray area for the things I do because I'm like, oh yeah, check it out. Like I try to inform you guys, but when I think of a review, I think of something that's like highly detailed and very, very informative. And I'm not saying that I don't inform you guys because I definitely try to inform you with things that I think that are important, but there are a lot of things I will leave out. Like for instance, with this switch, I may not even mention that there's a reset button on the switch, which is actually pretty important for a lot of people. But it's things like that that I think a reviewer would definitely mention. Now, obviously, you know, I kind of do like overviews or introductions and, you know, try to inform you guys with things that I think are important. But review is like, I think with reviews too, you also make the recommendation, like, or typically YouTubers like make the recommendation, yes, you should buy this. Yes, no, you should not buy this. And I typically don't do that unless I absolutely love something. Then I'll be like Unraid. I absolutely love Unraid. I'll be like, yes, you should buy it. Everyone should buy Unraid. Also, by the way, I have an affiliate link for Unraid. So if anyone buys that in the future, be sure to use that link. It's not in the video description currently, but it can be in the future. But anyway, that's this point. So, like I think reviewers typically like give you recommendations and stuff. I try to let you guys formulate your own opinions as much as possible. Obviously, I still make commentary about things I find. Like for instance, the FS module is not working appropriately with this. That's important information for you. Now that's more a comment on FS more than it is TP-Link, and that could be resolved by a firmware update. But I want you guys to be informed in the sense that where you can make your own decisions based off the hardware. Now, obviously, if something sucks, I will tell you, like, do not buy this. It is terrible, like I did with that UPS battery forever ago. But yeah, I definitely walk that fine line of like reviews and whatever. I try really hard not to do reviews. Um, but I, at the same token, like it's hard not to get the two mixed up because I definitely walk that line, right? So yeah, there'll be a lot more Omada stuff coming in the future. I'm still running Unify, okay? Unify is my home network. I trust Unify. Everything's integrated in one environment, like cameras and stuff. But TP-Link may be going there in the future. They have a VG line. I think that's how you say it. It's a VIGI line of cameras that's coming out. That may be able to be incorporated into Omada. We don't know yet, but they're just hitting US shelves, I guess, soon. Hopefully that's something I'll be able to cover in the future. But if they do integrate into Omada, that would be a pretty sweet setup to compete directly with Unify. So we'll see what happens. And I think by running both, it'll be really good to compare the two. Oh, well, I'm good. No, thank you. No tracking, please. It'll be really cool to compare the two side by side instead of having to break things down, set it back up every single time like I currently do. What's up, Jason? Welcome to the stream. You finally made it. All right, so anyway, that's the first thing TP-Link sent. This is one of many. They also sent over another access point. I haven't even opened this thing, so sorry for the glare. This is the EAP 653. This is a Wi-Fi 6 access point, also a mini one. This is pretty similar to the 610, I believe. I basically asked for this. I asked them for this one just so we can kind of compare it to the 610 that was previously sent, and so we, I don't know, can just check out more of the Omada lineup. So this is gonna be pretty cool to do. We'll do some Wi-Fi tests like that you've seen me do already in the past. That video will, I don't know when the video of this will come. It'll be a lot later because, well, I have a lot of work to do, and I'll tell you more about that work in the future. So we've got that video. We have some more EAP in-wall switches to talk about, or I guess access points with switching capability. So we have the EAP 655 in-wall to talk about, and this is the older EAP 615. So we'll do a direct comparison. I'll take both of these apart so we can see what's on the inside, and then we'll do like kind of a comparison and contrast on that. So now I guess you guys are starting to see why it's probably important for me to have an entire Omada stack so we can test everything with that. And you know, they've sent me a lot of 10 gig equipment too, so we can actually do some cool testing because 2.5 gigabit and 5 gigabit Ethernet is pretty much here. I don't know if you guys have checked out motherboards recently, but almost every motherboard now that you buy for, like, you know, if you're a custom builder, has 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. So having multi-gigabit switches is going to be great for all that testing. FX says, recently subscribed. Thanks for the great reviews of TP-Link stuff. No problem, man. Definitely go back a few seconds, like maybe about a minute and a half, so we can, you don't miss the review part of this because I don't really do reviews. But anyway, you have both those EAPs. The 655 is a great unit. Yeah, well, I'll find out. I'm excited to find out because I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it. Like, I think I'm gonna have to like stay on top of TP-Link and regularly email them because, as I've mentioned several times in the past, I'll email TP-Link, won't hear anything for a long time, and I put a like huge request in for stuff. Actually, that's not true. I put in a request for some stuff and then don't hear anything, and then one day it all just kind of shows up. And so I have a huge load. That's one's for you, Jason. I've got a huge load for Jason of videos to do now because so much stuff has showed up on my doorstep. And we have even more stuff coming tomorrow. So that's not going to make the lab state update video for you guys. But anyway, needless to say, we have a lot of Omada things to cover. I'm hoping that I'll have the ER8 411 video out Monday morning as per usual. I have to, there's still some parts I have to film, and there's some testing I need to do with multi-gig because I'm not entirely convinced it's a multi-gig switch, which I think is important for a lot of non-prosumers. I guess at this point, most of us home lab people can be considered prosumers. I don't actually know. But I got to go back and do some more testing and filming and whatnot. So that way I'm not unintentionally lying to everyone when I'm like, yeah, this is a multi-gig switch. It just works. And it turns out, well, it's not. So I wish I could turn the camera around. I guess I could, but nah, we'll save it for another time. But I've like have this like whole new setup specifically to test Omada hardware, and it's absolutely janky AF. Jason says he's starting to roll out some TP stuff at work for the smaller SMB clients. Yeah, I think for small to medium businesses, this like really hits the spot, and I think a lot of home labbers will be very appreciative too. The only thing that kind of sucks is like you don't get that unified environment, which for a lot of home labbers is actually probably a good thing. So that way you can more easily separate all of the services. You know, you have all your cameras, we'll say with Amcrest or I don't know, one of the other competitors, and then you'll have your custom Blue Iris software running on your own server, and you'll host a lot of that stuff on your own, and then you can have your network equipment that's totally separated from the different products from different companies, right? It's not all unified, which is good or bad depending on who you ask. I personally like having one environment for everything, and that's what pushed me towards Unify early on. But TP-Link could very easily go that same direction, especially as they continue to release products. It just kind of depends. If you buy their base router with the controller in it, it's free to add it. Yeah, I actually didn't know that it was free to add it to the cloud. That's pretty cool. I thought they charged money for that. Like, I don't even know what the subscription fees cost, but I thought they charged money for anything cloud related. Anyway, so I think that's all of the Omada stuff that I've got currently. And then, as you guys probably remember, that I've begun dipping my toe into smart home things and doing some electrical work, which we're definitely going to do more of. I also hit up TP-Link and was like, hey, I saw that you guys have all these new smart things coming out from your Tapo line of products. Would you guys send me some? And apparently the answer is yes. So this is going to be kind of hard to show off. So one of the things they sent is this Tapo smart plug. So we're going to be checking this out. I'm probably going to hook this up to a lamp and, you know, kind of play around with like scheduling and stuff. This is important for me because it's HomeKit compatible. Yes, I know I'm an Apple guy, so HomeKit's kind of important. But it obviously does support Hey Google and Alexa. So those of you guys that are on the Android bandwagon, you guys know a lot more about that and probably are a lot smarter in that regard. Whereas I just need something that's very basic and simple for my smooth brain. So HomeKit is the way to go. So we'll be checking out Tapo. That's one of the things on the list. Oh, you guys can't see that. I've moved it too far. Let's get everything back in frame, kind of. There we go. All right. I'm not as excited about this, but they sent over one of these wireless cameras. This is a pan and tilt one. We're gonna check this out, and it's kind of interesting because Tapo competes with Kaza, but I think Tapo is supposed to be their more like business oriented / prosumer oriented line of stuff. I'll read what you said later, Jason, but this is gonna be pretty cool. I think I'm not too big of a fan of smart cameras. Like I prefer PoE cameras, obviously, but nonetheless, I still want to check it out. It's gonna be part of the Tapo lineup, so we might as well, when we're looking at the application, like whether it be on iPad or whatever, I think it'd be cool to just kind of see how all of it comes together with all the products. That's broken now. So we can get a better idea of what things would look like in the real world. So this is gonna be pretty cool. To integrate, this one doesn't have on the box that it is HomeKit accessible, so I don't really know what that means. I don't know if it matters either, because all we're really going to be doing is viewing this. Not really much else. Like there's not really an automation you can do with this, I don't think. Maybe there is, I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's coming. And last but not least, they also sent over these cameras. So these are their outdoor cameras, and it even comes with a smart hub, which I believe is supposed to act like kind of a what do you call it? Like a like not really a doorbell, but like a sensor for notifications, like to sound an alarm. So that's gonna be pretty cool. These are definitely way more interesting than this camera is. They give us a set of 2. These are meant to be outdoors, and TP-Link claims that they'll have 180 hours of battery life. Obviously, that's a huge dependency on the amount of activity going on, like outside of your house. So these will be cool, I think. I'm most interested in doing a video about this. And I'm going to try and get these installed at somebody else's house that's currently on Reolink. That person his name's Luis. Actually, we've done content with him before. He's not happy with his Reolink setup, and he's thinking about switching brands to something else. And so I was like, hey, I got this Tapo stuff. Why don't you try it out, see if you like it? But then, of course, TP-Link pulled a fast one, and they're like, oh, hey, we have this new line of PoE security cameras. Or not PoE. I think they're PoE. But we have these new line of security cameras called VIGI. So, and he's aware of that. So I think we'll probably be checking those out in the long term, and these like temporarily. So, but you know, these are great if you can't run Ethernet or power to specific locations. They run on batteries, so you can literally install them anywhere. And stuff like this has always intrigued me, but personally, the technology wasn't always there. And going around and changing batteries, you know, every month or 2 months sounds terrible. But with 180 days or up to 180 days of battery life, it could be pretty legit. The small cameras are nice if you need to keep an eye on stuff inside your house. Yeah, that's exactly what the goal of this is. I'm basically going to turn it into a dog camera because I think they're pretty active during the day, and we can test out, you know, hell, I don't even know if this is on battery. I still have to do my research. I don't know if you plug this in or if it's battery. I think you plug it in. It's just a Wi-Fi camera. But we'll be playing around with this. This one's definitely meant for indoor use, and it would be great, like, you know, to keep an eye on things. Maybe even like a alternative baby camera, right? But yeah, so that is all the TP-Link stuff we'll be covering here shortly, but it doesn't end there. I don't have anything else to show you today because, like I said, I'm getting another shipment in tomorrow, but not from TP-Link. I reached out to Infinite Cable and was like, hey, I haven't heard a status update for you guys. I'm looking to get that network rack. Where are we at? And they said, I got a reply back from George, and he was like, hey, sorry we dropped the ball on that one. I'm going to get everything sent out to you. And I was like, cool, that's great. But they went one step above and beyond that. They're like, oh, we're going to expedite it. It'll be there in 2 days. And I was like, what? I don't need it like tomorrow. I just need it in the next couple of weeks because I'll be migrating all of my stuff over to Omada. And it would be nice to have... Oh, we got some zoomage going on. Am I tracking again? Yeah, we're on tracking. I'll leave it on tracking for now. So we have all this Omada stuff that needs a network rack. And as you guys know, I gave away that huge server rack for obvious... I don't like that. Just stop. Thank you. So I gave away that network rack and... or the server rack, actually, not network rack. And now I need a place to store things. Who would have known it was going to happen so soon? Let's back up real quick. Patrick says, the guy's right about Reolink. It's not the best. Can't wait to see Tapo is. Hopefully Tapo's pretty good. I've heard... It's funny about Reolink because there's one camp that's like, oh, it's great. And there's another camp that's like, no, it's terrible. And I kind of can see both perspectives because at least with his Reolink setup, he's got it where it's legit, right? Everything's hard lined. So it's all cameras that are, you know, wired in via Ethernet, and he has an NVR. But his NVR experience is terrible. It takes forever to load videos. It takes forever to replay videos. It takes forever to basically do anything at all when interacting with the NVR, and that's the experience he hates. That's something that Unify has done really well on. You know, when you pull up videos, yes, it does take a couple seconds to load, but generally it's pretty snappy. Now, I was supposed to make a video about the FS in VR, but honestly, my experience with it was so terrible, I just got frustrated and didn't make a video about it. And that's why I never made a like follow-up video showing you guys the software or the FS in VR, because it's not good. And it's not really FS fault because they rebrand that I think from Hikvision or Hikvision. I believe it's from Hikvision. And so, you know, there's some improvements that can be made there. Like Unify is definitely doing a great job with their NVR on the UDM Pro and UDM SE, I guess. So like those that works way better. And so everybody kind of wants something with a much snappier response time. I don't know how Tapo works because there's no hub. So I think, you know, do you connect to the cameras individually? Do you have to connect to the cloud first? Do these even work if there's no internet? Like things like that are going to be interesting to take a look at. And I think with Reolink, he can still view the cameras when there is no internet, but then like he doesn't get notifications when there's no internet, which doesn't make sense because everything's local to him. He has an NVR. Why can't he get notifications when it's local? It could just be something that's set up poorly on his part. I don't know. I haven't touched Reolink at all. But, you know, obviously one of the big appeals to Reolink is, well, it's inexpensive. Relatively inexpensive to most brands. So I'm going to ask him to install these at his house and just kind of talk about his experience with Reolink versus the Tapo lineup. So that way you guys can hear it from somebody who's frustrated with Reolink and how they feel about Tapo, and can give you like their real world experience versus something in the lab where I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, here, look at this. Oh, the license plate is all reflective. You can't see anything, right? Like obviously I'm not spending months with these things or weeks or months with these things, I can't give you like a true experience. Hence why I don't do reviews, because I feel like if you're going to do a review of something, it's a lot of effort because there's a lot of details you need to get into. And two, you need to be able to convey like your actual experience with it over a long period of time. Kind of like with the Linus Tech Tips backpack. I waited 6 months to even give you guys an opinion. And that video is probably really close to a review, but I'd say that it's not a review because I still don't really get into the finer details of the backpack. I'm just more talking about my experience and opinions, right? And that's probably what I'll end up doing with these. Although I won't wait months. It'll be like, hey, I played around with this for a week and this is what happened, right? Much more akin to my access point coverage or testing. It'll be a lot similar to that. I wonder if Tapo would work with something custom like ZoneMinder. So I don't know if Tapo is on VIF, however you say it. I know Jason's gonna murder me for butchering that. I don't think it is, but VIGI is on VIF compatible, and so you can use it with things like ZoneMinder and Blue Iris. So I have reached out to TP-Link to ask for that. I haven't heard back. I never do, except on very rare occasion. So I'm hoping that they see that request and then just send it to me whenever it's available so we can check out things like that. Anyway, so backtrack even earlier. So Infinite Cables, right? Hit them up, ask them for a bunch of things. There was some delays on their part, which they've totally rectified. Like came out of nowhere with that 2-day shipping. So I got a whole bunch of stuff arriving tomorrow. We have a network rack, cables, patch panel, patch cables, maybe some power cables. I don't even remember. Like my ask list for them was huge, and I can't believe they went for it. So I'm excited to bring them on as a sponsor for some content in the future. So we're gonna have a network rack. We're gonna install all of the new Omada equipment into that. That'll be in this room with me to make it a lot easier. It won't be in the network closet, unfortunately, as cool as it would be. Or maybe it should be. What do you guys think? Should I have the TP-Link? Quit it, camera. Jeez. All right, fine. You know what? We'll let you do your thing. Go ahead. Should we have the TP-Link network switch next to the Unify switch, and then that way in every video you can see them both side by side? or should I just like kind of set it on the shelf somewhere back over there and call it a day? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should side by side would be cool, but I don't know if I have room for both. I think I only truly have room for one. It would be pretty cool to have everything in the same closet though. This thing is like, does not work well at long range. Hiya! Focus on this. No, it doesn't do it. This camera is so weird. I love it. I love this camera. It's great for like streaming to YouTube when I'm gaming, but it's kind of awkward when you're at like a far distance. It's like has trouble. It's doing a pretty good job of staying focused, but it's kind of weird. It's a little overwhelming, or it's a little overwhelmed. All right. Well, I guess most of you have fallen. I guess I put most of you to sleep with with my ranting. There'll be more chances to pony up and be like, hey, yeah, you should probably install both next to each other in the videos. Yeah. Oh yeah. Did I make it stop? Yeah. All right. Stop before everyone throws up. I don't want Patrick throwing up over there. Oh, okay. So yeah, so we'll be doing that, but that means we'll have some new stuff hitting the store. And by new stuff, I mean some Omada stuff, because I will be accumulating so much Omada stuff, I'll actually need to get rid of it. So I think we're going to get rid of possibly the ER605 and also a couple of access points, or maybe just one access point. And we'll also be getting rid of potentially a switch. Yeah, so that'll be great, because obviously I'm not going to sell it to you guys at the brand new price. I'll probably have like a decent discount on them. So if you guys are looking to get Omada or want to add stuff to your Omada lineup, you'll have that option available. What's up, Joe? And Ashley, you guys have pretty much missed it. And oh, by the way, Ashley, I'm glad you're here. So ever since you and I have started talking, or you've been joining the live streams and such, I've noticed that the percentage of female viewers has gone up from 1% to 3.5%. That's huge for me. Typically, it's always been at 1% or slightly less than 1%, but now we're at 3.5% female viewers. And I don't know if like Joe's account counts as double female. And if it does, that's fine. I'm not judging. But that's great news. I've been trying and appeal more towards our female viewers. And I guess it's working. So, and by trying to appeal to females, I've just been doing nothing differently. Well, that's not true. I have been doing some things differently, but mainly just trying to be cool with everyone in general, not specifically cater towards Jason's genitalia all the time. So, nice, Joe. Anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so we'll be adding some stuff to the store here soon, so that'll give us an opportunity for some people to jump into Omada. What I would like to do is give away some of the things in reality, but I'm saving money. The problem is if I really am gonna do a studio tour with Jason's lab, wow, well, with Jason as well, but with Ed from Space Invader 1, Ed from his channel, I kind of need money. So I'm saving money, and unfortunately I'm going to try and sell as much equipment or things as possible to help save up for that, because if relying on YouTube is going to take several years to get there. So anyway, that's the point. Happy to bring the ladies to you. Yes, thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate it. I think we should stay with the pink in the logo. That will be helpful too. I'm okay with staying pink in the logo. So I do want to give you the freedom to, instead of doing the network cables or the wires, you don't have to do them true to form. If you feel like putting pink in there instead of blue or green or orange or whatever, go for it. Maybe instead of white and orange stripes, you could do pink and orange stripes, or all the stripes can be pink. I don't know. You're the creative one, not me. That's why I'm paying you to do all this stuff, because I'm just like, and then you're like, yeah, I got this. I could do this all day. But anyway, that's the point. You'll figure it out. I trust you. All right, so yeah, I think so. We'll be selling that stuff, and I think that is pretty much it for this stream. Oh, that's actually not entirely true. So also, we need to build a Blue Iris capable computer, or run Blue Iris maybe in a container or something, because if we're going to be taking a look at other cameras, not just the Tapo ones, but other cameras in general, like the VIGI ones, I don't want to use like one of those crap. Quit zooming in. I don't want to use one of those crappy NVRs. I want to use something a little bit more high speed, something a bit more responsive, and I think Blue Iris is the answer for that. ZoneMinder is cool, but like the UI is kind of outdated in my opinion. I don't really like the UI for it. I haven't used Blue Iris before, so I could end up hating that too. I don't know. Maybe we'll try both. There's no reason we can't do both. So we need a PC for that, and also I want to get this FS camera. I thought about listing the FS camera for sale, but I think I'm going to hang on to it for a little while longer so we can have it inside of our Blue Iris videos in the future or whatever. What I need to do is just tell Joe to drive his ass down here and be like, do this, fix this for me, make it work, and then bippity boppity boo, I'm all good to go. I don't need to do anything. That's suspicious. You're suspicious. Don't accuse me of suspicion. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have. Those are the major updates. How long have we been streaming for? Only 40 minutes. And I was technically late too, Joe, so you don't have to feel bad. Other updates. Yeah, I got nothing. On your way. I'll have to give you my address. Yeah, I think that's it. I've got nothing for y'all. That's everything. I think we covered it all. Yeah, we've covered it all. So unless you guys got any final questions, comments, or remarks, I'm going to go finish up making my video about this, and we'll be good to go. I'll hopefully finish that tonight, get it finished, or finish editing it over the weekend, and then having it released on Monday. Yeah, I know you'll be happy to help. I'm like slightly kidding, but at the same token, I'm also not kidding, or I am kidding. Wait, did I say that weird? I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm also not joking, if you know what I mean. I definitely want to start working with other YouTubers. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this either, but I may be in one of Raid Owl's future videos. Maybe. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. He did say I couldn't. I didn't ask if I could or could not. So that'll be fun. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess this is time to, or I guess now it's time to say goodbye. Wow, I cannot speak sometimes. I really appreciate everyone who showed up. Wait. I think the alcohol's getting to me already. I really appreciate you guys showing up, especially the ones who actually showed up. Obviously, I'm happy to see when other people watch this video later. I very much appreciate that as well. Patrick, thank you Thank you for being here early, and thank you for being so active in today's chat. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm glad you're looking forward to TP-Link videos. I am too. And with that is a great segue to say goodbye to all of you. And actually, no, I will not be streaming any games after this. I have to get back to work on this video for this ER8411 router. So no gaming for me tonight. There's a small chance I might be gaming tomorrow. It depends on how far I get with this and how much editing I get done over the weekend. Well, I guess tomorrow's not the weekend. It was the start of the weekend. I know, we'll see. It depends on how far I get tonight. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bye, Ashley. I'm out of here. And the camera, I'm not actually gone. This is kind of the awkward point because in order to stop it, I've got to like come over here. You know, it's just like I'm so far away. Oh, wait. Maybe I can stop it from over here. Let's go back. What does this button do? Yeah, that worked.